In this video, we are breaking down two powerful stocks that I would buy immediately if I had $1,000 to invest right now. These are not speculative hype plays chasing short-term excitement. They are dominant companies sitting at the center of massive technological trends that could shape the global economy for decades. One of them builds the advanced computing engines powering artificial intelligence infrastructure around the world. The other has created one of the most powerful digital ecosystems ever built, spanning cloud computing, logistics, artificial intelligence services, and global commerce. Hit the like button, share the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next important financial investing update. Remember to do your own research before you invest in any stock. Let us start with the first company, Advanced Micro Devices, ticker symbol AMD. To understand why this company matters so much right now, you need to step back and look at what is happening in the global technology landscape. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming industries across the entire economy. Businesses are using AI to automate workflows, analyze massive data sets, improve decision-making, and build entirely new digital products. But none of that innovation happens without enormous computing power. Artificial intelligence systems require massive amounts of processing capability to train models and run advanced algorithms. That computing power comes from specialized chips installed inside data centers that operate around the clock. These chips are the hidden engines behind the AI revolution. Advanced Micro Devices is one of the companies designing those engines. Over the past decade, AMD has transformed itself from a struggling chip maker into one of the most important players in high-performance computing. Its processors now power servers used by cloud computing platforms, enterprise data centers, and artificial intelligence systems. That transformation did not happen overnight. Years ago, AMD made a strategic decision to focus aggressively on high-performance computing and data center chips. The company invested heavily in new processor architectures that could compete at the highest levels of the semiconductor industry. That long-term strategy is now paying off in a major way. One of the most important growth opportunities for AMD today is the explosion of demand for artificial intelligence infrastructure. As companies race to develop more advanced AI systems, they need increasingly powerful computing clusters to train and deploy those models. These clusters often contain thousands of specialized processors working together. Recently, AMD secured massive agreements related to supplying graphics processing units for artificial intelligence data centers. These deployments involve infrastructure projects that could support multiple gigawatts of computing capacity. To put that into perspective, infrastructure projects of that scale could represent spending worth more than $100 billion. That kind of investment highlights just how large the artificial intelligence infrastructure build-out could become over the next decade. For AMD, these agreements are extremely important because they position the company inside some of the largest AI data center ecosystems being built today. Once a semiconductor company becomes a core supplier for these massive computing systems, it can create long-term relationships that drive recurring demand. But the opportunity goes far beyond just one product category. AMD has spent years developing its 𝗣𝗟𝗧 processor lineup, which is specifically designed for servers running complex workloads inside data centers. These processors deliver strong performance while maintaining impressive energy efficiency. Energy efficiency might sound like a minor technical detail, but it is actually critical for companies running large-scale computing infrastructure. A single modern data center can consume enormous amounts of electricity. When thousands of servers operate simultaneously, even small improvements in processor efficiency can translate into significant cost savings. That is why cloud computing providers pay close attention to performance per watt when choosing processors. AMD has built a strong reputation for delivering competitive performance while maintaining excellent efficiency. That advantage has helped the company steadily gain market share in the server processor market, but artificial intelligence has created another major opportunity for the company. Training modern AI models requires specialized processors capable of performing massive parallel calculations. Graphics processing units are particularly effective for this type of workload because they can handle many calculations simultaneously. AMD has been investing heavily in data center GPUs designed specifically for artificial intelligence applications. These accelerators are used to train large machine learning models and to run inference tasks that power AI-driven software. As artificial intelligence adoption spreads across industries, demand for these types of processors could increase dramatically. Many analysts believe the world is still in the early stages of the artificial intelligence infrastructure build-out. Companies across sectors such as healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and technology are experimenting with AI-driven tools that require powerful computing resources. As these systems become more advanced, the need for high-performance processors will continue to grow. That trend could create a long runway of demand for companies like AMD. Another reason AMD stands out as a compelling investment opportunity is the strength of its leadership and engineering culture. The company has demonstrated an ability to execute complex chip design strategies while bringing competitive products to market. In the semiconductor industry, execution is everything. Designing advanced processors requires years of planning, deep engineering expertise, and careful coordination with manufacturing partners. Companies that consistently deliver high-performance chips tend to build strong relationships with major technology customers. AMD has spent years building those relationships. From a financial perspective, the company has grown into a semiconductor powerhouse with a market value that exceeds $300 billion. Its strong gross margins highlight the value that customers place on its technology. High margins also provide the company with resources to reinvest in research and development. This is critical because the semiconductor industry evolves rapidly. New architectures, manufacturing processes, and computing demands constantly reshape the competitive landscape. Companies that continue investing aggressively in innovation are more likely to maintain leadership positions. AMD has been doing exactly that. The company consistently allocates significant resources toward developing next-generation processors that can handle increasingly demanding workloads. This focus on innovation helps ensure AMD remains competitive as artificial intelligence systems grow more complex. Another important aspect of AMD's business is diversification. While data center processors and artificial intelligence chips represent the fastest-growing opportunities, the company also generates revenue from other segments such as gaming hardware, embedded computing solutions, and personal computer processors. These additional segments provide stability and help AMD leverage its chip design expertise across multiple industries. But the real excitement around AMD today comes from its role in powering the infrastructure of artificial intelligence. The world is entering an era where computing demand could increase exponentially. Intelligent software agents, advanced robotics, automated systems, and predictive analytics platforms all rely on enormous computing capacity. The companies building the processors that power these technologies are positioned to benefit directly from that demand. AMD sits directly in that path, and that is why if I had $1,000 to invest right now, Advanced Micro Devices would absolutely be one of the stocks I would strongly consider buying, because investing in AMD is essentially investing in the computing infrastructure behind artificial intelligence. And the infrastructure layer of major technological revolutions often becomes one of the most valuable segments of the entire ecosystem. This video is brought to you by Value Stocks Investing Master Course. If you're looking to grow your wealth by investing in solid, undervalued stocks but not sure where to start, I created the Value Stocks Investing Master Course to teach you how to identify great companies, make smart investment decisions, and build a portfolio that lasts. Click the link in the description and pinned comments to get the course today and take control of your financial future. Now let us move on to the second stock I would strongly consider buying if I had $1,000 ready to invest today. Amazon, ticker symbol AMZN. Amazon is one of the most influential companies in the global economy, but many investors still underestimate how powerful its long-term growth engine actually is. Most people still think of Amazon primarily as an online retailer. That is understandable because the company built its reputation by transforming how people shop. But over the past decade, Amazon has quietly evolved into something much larger than an e-commerce company. Today, Amazon operates one of the most powerful digital ecosystems ever created. Its business spans cloud computing infrastructure, artificial intelligence services, global logistics networks, digital advertising, and one of the largest online marketplaces in the world. Each of these businesses reinforces the others and strengthens Amazon's competitive position. At the center of this ecosystem sits Amazon Web Services, commonly known as AWS. AWS is the company's cloud computing division, and it has become one of the most important technology platforms on the planet. Businesses across nearly every industry rely on AWS to run their applications, store data, power websites, and support mission-critical software systems. Instead of building expensive data centers and managing their own servers, companies can simply rent computing power from Amazon. This model has fundamentally changed how modern businesses operate. Cloud computing allows companies to scale their operations instantly. If a new application suddenly attracts millions of users, the underlying computing infrastructure can expand to handle that demand without requiring the company to build new physical servers. That flexibility has made cloud platforms essential for startups, large corporations, and government organizations. But the real growth driver for AWS today is artificial intelligence. Training and running advanced AI models requires massive computing resources. Many organizations do not have the ability to build their own large-scale data centers, so they turn to cloud providers like Amazon to access the computing power needed for AI development. This trend is creating a powerful new wave of demand for cloud infrastructure. Every time a company builds an AI application that requires significant computing resources, it often relies on cloud providers to support those workloads. As artificial intelligence becomes integrated into more industries, the demand for cloud computing capacity could continue expanding. That places Amazon in a very strong position. Another interesting aspect of Amazon's strategy is the development of its own custom chips designed specifically for cloud computing workloads. By designing processors tailored to its data centers, Amazon can improve efficiency and reduce operating costs. Lower costs allow the company to remain competitive while also improving profitability. This strategy highlights one of Amazon's greatest strengths as a business. Because of its enormous scale, the company can invest heavily in infrastructure that smaller competitors simply cannot afford. These investments create long-term advantages that become extremely difficult for other companies to replicate. But Amazon's power is not limited to cloud computing. Its global e-commerce platform remains one of the most dominant digital marketplaces ever created. Millions of independent sellers use Amazon's platform to reach customers around the world. This marketplace model creates a powerful network effect. More sellers bring more products to the platform. A wider selection attracts more customers. More customers then attract even more sellers who want access to that large audience. Over time, this cycle strengthens Amazon's marketplace and makes it increasingly valuable. Another area where Amazon has been making significant progress is automation within its logistics network. The company operates an enormous system of fulfillment centers that store, package, and ship products to customers. Managing this level of logistical complexity requires sophisticated technology. Amazon has deployed more than 1 million robots across its warehouse network to help automate the movement of goods. These robotic systems transport products, organize inventory, and assist with order processing. Automation helps Amazon increase efficiency while reducing operational costs. The company has also developed artificial intelligence systems that coordinate the movement of these robots throughout its warehouses. One of these systems helps optimize traffic patterns within fulfillment centers to ensure products move through the system as efficiently as possible. When you operate at Amazon's scale, even small improvements in efficiency can have enormous financial impact. For example, when warehouse automation allows orders to move faster or reduces the labor required to process shipments, the company can handle more volume without dramatically increasing expenses. This type of operational improvement has already begun to show up in Amazon's financial performance. In a recent quarter, the company's North American e-commerce segment reported operating income growth that significantly outpaced revenue growth. That difference indicates that the business is becoming more efficient as automation improves. For long-term investors, that trend is extremely important. When a company can grow revenue while expanding operating margins, it often leads to stronger earnings growth over time. Another major advantage Amazon has built is its advertising platform. Because millions of shoppers visit Amazon's website every day looking for products, the company has become an attractive place for brands to advertise. Businesses can pay to promote their products directly to customers who are already searching for items to buy. This creates a highly targeted form of advertising that many companies find extremely valuable. Advertising revenue has become one of the fastest growing parts of Amazon's business in recent years. It also tends to carry very high margins compared with traditional retail operations. When you combine cloud computing, e-commerce, logistics infrastructure, and digital advertising, you begin to see why Amazon is such a powerful company. Few businesses in the world operate across so many critical areas of the digital economy. Even more interesting is how artificial intelligence is being integrated throughout Amazon's entire ecosystem. AI systems help personalize product recommendations for shoppers. They optimize delivery routes across the logistics network. They power services offered through AWS. They also help businesses analyze data and build intelligent software applications. In other words, artificial intelligence is becoming deeply embedded throughout Amazon's operations. As these systems improve, they could make the entire organization more efficient and more valuable. Financially, Amazon remains one of the largest companies in the world with a market value that exceeds $2 trillion. Despite that enormous scale, the company still has multiple growth engines that could drive expansion for many years. Cloud computing demand continues to grow as more organizations move their technology infrastructure to the cloud. Artificial intelligence is creating new demand for advanced computing resources. Automation is improving the efficiency of logistics operations. Very few companies have exposure to all of these powerful trends at the same time. That combination of growth drivers is exactly why Amazon remains such an interesting investment opportunity even after becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. If I were building a portfolio starting with $1,000 today, Amazon would absolutely be one of the companies I would want to own for the long term, because Amazon is not just a retailer. It is a global technology platform operating at the intersection of cloud computing, artificial intelligence, digital commerce, and logistics infrastructure. Businesses with that level of strategic positioning often continue compounding value for decades. If you want exclusive stock tips, in-depth analysis, real-time trade alerts, and free investing guides, join the Stocks Galore Patreon today and take your investing game to the next level. Our members get full in-depth analysis on most of the stocks mentioned here. Head over to patreon.com/stocksgalore and become part of our growing community of smart investors. Link is in the description. Now I want to hear from you. Between Advanced Micro Devices and Amazon, which company do you believe has the stronger long-term competitive advantage in the age of artificial intelligence? And if you had $1,000 to invest today, which stock would you choose? Do not forget to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you do not miss the next important investing update. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.